Hello, I'm still getting a lot of questions about how to pick topic for the project. So I decided to show you my thought process if I was a student and was choosing the topic for my project. What would I do? So let's go to our Canvas course page and look at available resources. First, if I was a student, I would, of course, take advantage of available resources that the instructor posted in the modules. Module 1 instructions, there are 3 files with possible topic ideas for your project. So I would read all the files to get the idea on what field would I like to do my research about. What am I interested in? If I'm in nursing, for example, I would probably be interested in researching the temperature maybe in my class. We'll talk about identifying the population in a minute. Or maybe a pulse rate. If I was, let's say, an athlete, maybe I would be interested in researching the height of the basketball players, for example, right? Or I go to the stores a lot and I'm interested, what is the time in the waiting line in certain store, for example, at Costco, right? It seems like line takes forever. There's a lot of lines, but it seems like each line takes forever. So I would maybe research on how much time it takes to wait in Costco in line or any other store. You get the idea, right? Pick something that interests you, that you would like to know about. And then, of course, remember I told you that there is video instructions. I would, of course, watch the video instructions, and I would watch another video about clarifications on the topic and the source assignment. And then, remember I mentioned that you can use your homework and your quiz for chapter 3. It will give you a lot of ideas too. So let's go to our ebook and look at what is available in the ebook. Let's go to My Lab and Mastering tab. And then let's go to the tab called eText. You can also access eTextbook from Multimedia Library. And see, you have all kinds of resources. The video lectures, technology videos, multimedia textbook, that's our e-textbook, StatCrunch, PowerPoints, StatCrunch tutorial videos, all kinds of resources. So let's go directly to e-textbook. And I want to go to chapter 3. So let's choose chapter 3. And let's go to end of chapter materials and see what is available there. Oh, look. There is chapter quick quiz available, and it has some about the sleep time. So let me show you another feature that I just added. I don't know how it works. I'm just testing it, so bear it with me. I added a OneNote notebook, the class notebook, and I created a page called Project One Topic. So let's go and open that page. And you can see that it's the new tab added. It's called Class Notebook. So let's go to Class Notebook and open it online. You will see there's several tabs. One of them called Project One Topic Ideas. And that's where I'm going to be typing my ideas for the project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it half and half window, half for OneNote and half for the ideas from the ebook, from the textbook. So I created a list in the notebook, and I will be writing whatever comes in my mind after I read chapter quick quiz. I will write it in my notebook. So here's the problem. Sleep mean. As part of the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, subjects were asked how long they slept the preceding night, and the following times hours were reported. And here are the hours. Find the mean. Oh, okay, that might be the idea. They say that on average, people should sleep about 8 hours, right? 7 to 8 hours. I'm wondering if say college student because I'm college student and it doesn't seem I'm getting enough sleep. I'm not getting 7-8 hours of sleep. So I'm wondering if other college students might experience the same problem. So I'm going to do my research on the sleep hours in college students. My population will be ABC students. So I'm going to focus only on ABC students. And that will be my topic. Sleep pattern or sleep hours in the ABC students or of the ABC students. That's one idea. So we identify the population. Let me show you how I identify the population. Population ABC students. Now, sample would be, say, 30 students, 30 ABC students. This is the minimum that you need to have for a good research project. And then how I'm going to choose the sample. So sampling method. I'm going to do, say, stratified sampling. Stratified sampling, that means that I'm going to divide the day into 3 parts: morning, afternoon, evening. Because, we have students who don't go to work and they take classes in the morning or in the afternoon, or students who go to work during the day, they might have to school at night. So the sleep patterns might be different for different students. So that's how I'm going to do the research. I'm going to ask 10 students about their sleep, let's say, how much sleep they get last week, or how much sleep they get last night, or how much sleep they get the past 2-3 days, right? You decide what the interval you want to be in your research. So the sampling method would be stratified sampling, and randomly choose 10 students out of each strata. And then after I do that, I'm going to write it in my notes, for example, and then transfer this information into table on the computer, because it's easier to work when it's typed, of course, right? We're not doing anything by hand. Everything, all this summary statistics, mean, median, mode, range, standard deviation, variance, everything can be calculated in StatCrunch, and then you can make a graph also using the StatCrunch option. So we're not doing anything by hand. The table needs to be in the computer as well. So here's some ideas, right? You got the ideas about the sleep pattern. Now let's go next and see what else is available. What another idea is available? So it looks like this the whole page is on the sleep pattern. Okay, so let's go to the next page, review exercises, and read what is available. And the first problem in the review exercise is about Old Faithful Geyser. Listed below are prediction errors in minutes. There are differences between the actual eruption times and predicted eruption times. Positive numbers correspond to eruptions that occurred later than predicted, and negative numbers correspond to eruptions that occurred before they were predicted. The data are from the data set 23, Old Faithful in Appendix B. If you go to Table of Content and scroll down, you will see the appendixes. You can see the Appendix B with the data sets. Also, you can find the data sets from StatCrunch directly. And to go to the StatCrunch, you can click StatCrunch link or access StatCrunch from Multimedia Library Resources. You would probably need to sign in the StatCrunch just how you sign for MyMathLab. Or if you go to Multimedia Library, you can choose the tab StatCrunch. It will open up as a link. You click on the link and you will see that there are different kinds of data sets. For example, there is data sets for earthquake, tornadoes, Old Faithful. That's the one that the book was referring to. All kinds of different data sets. Explore the data sets, look what might be an interest for you, the data set. Remember, we're doing just descriptive statistics. We're not analyzing anything, we're not making predictions, we're not making any conclusions, we're just collecting data and presenting data in the table, in the graphs, and calculating summary statistics. That's all we are doing. So for example, the first data set called body data, it has ages, different ages, it has gender. Well, gender is not going to work because gender is categorical data and we need quantitative data. Pulse rates, see? And you have how many subjects? Ooh, a lot, 300 subjects. That's a lot to choose from. And then you can do the randomized sampling, or you can do systematic sampling. Out of this data, choose every 10th element, right? Or every 5th element. You decide how you want to apply the knowledge. So let's go back to end of chapter material and see what else is available. Comparing birth weights. The birth weights of a sample of males have mean of 3,272.8 grams and a standard deviation of 660.2 grams. The birth weights of a sample of females have a mean of 3,037.1 grams and a standard deviation of 706.3 grams. It's based on a data set for birth. Again, you can find this data if you're interested in comparing what is the birth weight of males versus females. You can present it in two graphs. That would be interesting to compare. You can find data in the data set called birth. And also pick this, and probably there is a lot of maybe 300, 200 subjects. Choose random subjects, maybe 30 random subjects, or maybe, again, do the systematic sampling, choose 10 subjects or 15 subjects in the female column, 50 subjects in the male column, and make it interesting. Create the calculate the summary statistic for males, calculate the summary statistics for females, same with the graphs, and so you have some comparison, and that would be interesting to present, right? Let's go next to the next page and see what else is available. Oh, you know what? I just realized I forgot to write this idea down. Birth weights, topic, birth weights in newborn girls and boys, or males and females. And I'm going to be using the data set. So population, all subjects in the data set 4, and sample 15 males and 15 females. Sampling method, stratified sampling. Oh, not stratified, sorry. Sampling, systematic sampling. Sampling, I'm going to choose every 5th subject in each column. Okay, what are the ideas we can get? Let's go to the next page. I'm on page 127. I'm going to go to page 128 and see what else is available. Maybe I'll get some ideas from other problems that are in the chapter review. Effect of an outlier. Listed below are platelets counts, 1000 cells per milliliter from, actually microliter, from subjects included in the dataset 1 body data. Oh, interesting. Okay, identify the outlier and then comment on the effect it has of the mean and standard deviation by finding the values of those statistics with an outlier included and then with the outlier excluded. Oh, that would be interesting too. And I can do, again, I can pick maybe as a sampling, I can pick 30 subjects out of 300 available, and that would be my sample, and I can evaluate the platelet counts. Or I can use even the whole population given. It will be a lot of calculation. Good thing that we're not doing it by hand, but if you just want to pick just 30 samples, that's fine too. Okay, what else we have? We have estimated standard deviation. Listed below is a sample of duration times in seconds of eruption of the Old Faithful geyser. Oh, again, that's referring to the Old Faithful geyser. And in this problem, we use the range rule of thumb to estimate the value of the standard deviation of all duration times and compare the results to the standard deviation of the 33.7 seconds found from a sample of 2,634 duration times. That's also interesting to look at the duration times of the Old Faithful geyser. And that would be another idea. Duration in the Old Faithful geyser. I'm gonna take it from the data set. I think it's a 24 or 23. Please check. The population will be all known duration times of the Old Faithful geyser. The sample will be 20 or 30 durations. Okay, so population, all known duration, and sample 20 or 30 duration times. Also, what else you can do, other project maybe measure or find the data set on, say, heights, and maybe compare the heights of females and height of males, or other project that, again, interests you. For example, maybe you want to see what is the wait time in the store. That would be wait time in my favorite store. That's my another project. Or comparing heights in males and females. That's the other project. Many different projects. Or, for example, another example, if you like to travel, that maybe you want to compare what is the prices on the tickets from the certain airline to certain point. So you need to pick, like, for example, traveling from LAX to New York, and pick maybe different airlines and see what is the average price. And then remember to choose the prices, and you will need to show where you got those prices. You will need to include this in your project. So you're not making up the prices, right? You're actually referring to some data sets. Include and calculate what is the average price based on the same criteria. For example, you're only looking at, let's say, Monday through Wednesday, or Friday through Saturday for all airlines. Remember that the prices are different. You cannot compare price travel on Monday with price traveling on Friday. It's always going to be different. And that might be another idea. Airline or airplane prices. Airline prices from LAX to JFK. That's another idea. But I'm sure that you guys have lots of ideas that you would like to collect data and research and present your data in the tables and graphs. Okay, I hope I gave you a lot of ideas on what your project might be. And remember, please do not analyze. We're not analyzing. We're not making conclusions. That's the part of inferential statistics. And that's what we will learn starting in chapter 7, then chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10. We'll be doing hypothesis testing. We'll be building confidence intervals, finding what results are significant, not significant, using the hypothesis testing and p-value. Right now, we're just collecting data. So you are showing that you know how to collect data. You are showing that you know how to correctly identify the population. You're showing that you know how to choose the sampling method. Please don't choose convenience sampling. Convenience sampling is not a good sampling. And why would you choose convenience sampling after being in statistics class for 3.5 weeks? What have you been doing for 3.5 weeks? You should learn by now that convenience sampling is not a good sampling. So choose the non-biased sampling method. And that's what you will be showing, how you collect data using your sampling method of your choice. And present the data in table, of course. Make sure to write everything, all the data that you were using in your project. And also you will be calculating summary statistics using StatCrunch. You know how to do that. You will be building graphs using StatCrunch. You know how to do that. And then taking a screenshot of the graph that you make in StatCrunch. There has to be at least 3 graphs. I will send you the video also on how to make a screenshot from StatCrunch and put it in your project. And that's what we will be doing. And then explain why you chose this project and what interesting you found from it. I hope that was helpful.